Chapter 2. The Elder Sister, Princess Leifel. My Aunt Sama, Princess Leifel, I want you to medically examine her. Rhys. Rhys pled me. You want me to examine her? Is your sister, Princess Leifel, sick or something? Serious? I'm not sure about that. 3 days ago she suddenly became ill, and the symptoms have only worsened ever since. Rhys. What about the treatment? Serious? My healing spells were effective. The symptoms lightened, but as soon as I stopped applying treatment, she began to suffer again. Rhys. Whenever you stopped using your healing magic, you saw her suffer again, huh? Serious? She was worn out. Was that the recoil of rapid healing magic use? I think she used magic until she reached her limit, because she was that desperate. But was it because there was no improvement to be seen at all, that made it so she came and consulted with me even if it was going to get me involved in the problems of the royalty? A short while after my Ka-sama died I got really worried, because I was told by a messenger that I am from the royal family. I was brought from the place where I used to live to the castle, and as I was worrying about what on earth will happen to me, Aunt Sama saved me. Rhys. Rhys continued speaking about the situation at that time. Apparently she was taken in by her father, the king, and when she met him, she was treated coldly. Rhys looked like she was going to cry any time soon. Princess Leifel seems to have helped her in various ways during that time. She thought it was unlucky for Rhys, as a former commoner, to get involved with the obligations of royalty, so her sister suggested for her to hide her social status even when going to school. Thanks to Aunt Sama, I was able to go to school, and then I met Emilia, Sirius-san and Royce. Although my benefactor is suffering, I can't do anything. Please. Please help Aunt Sama. Rhys. Rhys was frustrated with her powerlessness. She trembled while covering her face with her hands. Emilia drew closer and embraced Rhys, while gently patting her back to calm her down. I want to meet this person soon. Please introduce us. Emilia. Me too. Royce. Emilia, Royce. Yeah, I will introduce my friends. Rhys. Of course, introduce me too as Rhys's Shisho. Although, I'm not sure if they will believe that. Serious. This is because I am younger than Rhys and I have the appearance of just a child. They won't arrest us for such a nonsensical talk, right, saying that I'm her Shisho. It was probably only my imagination, but Rhys laughed a little. Rhys, I don't know the situation around your Nei-san. Therefore, can you give us some information now? You can regret it later, right? Serious. Yeah, right. You mean those circumstances, right? What shall I talk about? Emilia. First of all, what are the symptoms of her sickness? And the details of the day and time when they appeared. Furthermore, did she suffer from major diseases in the past? Serious. Honestly, I want to help with a solution, but I don't know how she got sick. As for the details, I can get them after I examine the person herself, but I should make good use of the time we have en route to our destination to gather information. After several minutes, we arrived at a place that was a bit disconnected from the area where the nobles reside. In a mansion, where dozens of people can live comfortably, there was a well-kept large garden. Although the other nobles' houses were luxurious, this one was on a different level. My family usually lives in the castle, but right now Aunt Sama is resting here, ever since she got sick. Rhys. Since this matter is not known by the public, is there an order to prevent the spread of the news for the time being? Serious. That's right. Since the talk about the engagement has appeared, these ominous news are covered up. Rhys. As we got off from the horse carriage, while listening to Rhys's explanations, we saw several men and women come out from the mansion and head in our direction. They wore something resembling a maid dress and a butler tailcoat, so I understood that they were servants of this mansion. Welcome back, Rhys-sama. Who on earth are these people? A young woman in a maid dress, who seemed to be the representative of the servants, lowered her head at Rhys and looked at us. This person was a rabbit beastkin. She had sharp ears on her head and a round tail on her butt. She was a good-looking woman, but she didn't seem like a normal servant with those sharp eyes. There is no mistake that she gives off a feeling of being experienced in battles. Perhaps, if I tried to harm Rhys, she would take my life without hesitation. Rhys introduced us in a hurry since she was being careful with us who came along with her. I'm back, Senia. These people here are my friends. Rhys. Faris Sama. Where have you been? But, one man interrupted her. The young man wore blue-color light armor and a sword with gorgeous decorations. I imagine him being part of the Imperial Guards for the king. I could see an energetic young man, but he was looking here severely. No, from what I could tell he was looking at Emilia and Royce. Besides, why on earth are you leading these two beastkin here? Even though the princess is in such a situation. Silence, Melt. Senia. Say what? Melt. Rhys Sama can't talk if you are talking. By the way, I am the superior here. So, who are you, to disturb explanation from the younger sister of Lyfel Sama, Rhys Sama? Senia. Melt. The rabbitkin, Senia, was apparently his superior. The man called Melt withdrew to the back, while being annoyed. Since the gloomy mood was dissipated, Senia gave an indication for Rhys to continue. These are my friends, Emilia and Royce. And this is their master, Sirius San. Rhys. Nice to meet you, my name is Sirius. Sirius. My name is Emilia. Emilia. I am Royce. Royce. The maids, including Senia, were surprised when we greeted with Khossan's trademark bow. Displaying courtesy seemed to have an effect, because their cautiousness lessened a bit. As one would expect from Khossan's technique. This is a very courteous of you. My name is Senia, I am a special attendant for Lyfel Sama. Since you are Rhys Sama's friends, we welcome all of you. Senia. When Senia greeted us with same level of greeting as ours, several maids and butlers at the back bowed. It looked like there were factions among them, since not everyone bowed, but let's leave this matter behind for now. I'm sorry, Senia. Although I wanted to take more time introducing them, I want these three to meet Anne Sama as soon as possible. Rhys. But, Rhys Sama, Lyfel Sama is sick. Senia. What are you talking about? Melt. Once again, the man called Melt interrupted. He glared in our direction without hiding his bloodlust as if he was going to draw his sword at any time. What are you thinking to let these commoners to see the princess who is suffering from an illness? Even if she was not sick, I, as the Imperial Guard, would not allow this. Melt. Don't say such a thing. There is a high chance of Anne Sama getting cured. Please, Rhys. No way, Melt. This man seemed to be typical obstinate type, but there was truth in what he said. Despite of Rhys's introduction, it may be an impossible task to let suspicious commoners see the princess of a country. But still, Rhys didn't stop. She held Senia's hands while clinging to her. Please, Senia. If we leave this to Sirius San, surely, he will definitely able to do something for Anne Sama. Rhys. Rhys Sama, Senia. Senia closed her eyes to consider, while Melt was still making noise. After several minutes had passed, she slowly opened her eyes and made her way to the mansion. Welcome everyone. Lyfel Sama is resting in the inner room. Senia. You bastard. How dare you disregard my opinion as an Imperial Guard? Melt. My order takes precedence in this mansion. Besides, it is all right for the Imperial Guard to come too. If they take a hostile action, move without reservation as the Imperial Guard. Senia. That's right. I'll cut them down without mercy, if they show any suspicious behavior. Melt. Senia. Rhys. I'm sorry. Since what Melt said is reasonable, please forgive me for bringing him along. Senia. Yes, thank you, Senia. Rhys. When Rhys embraced Senia, her face was full of affection. That expression, that resembled Irina, made Emilia and Royce smile nostalgically. Rhys doesn't hold prejudice to Beastkin, so she could make friends with Emilia immediately. It is probably thanks to Senia. Sirius San, let's go. Rhys. Ah, Sirius. This way, Senia. Rhys, we and that Imperial Guard, Melt were led into the mansion by Senia. The insides of the mansion were grand too, equipped with luxurious decorations and sofas. We were led to the inner part of the mansion, and while we were looking around, Emilia and Royce had to wearily look back at Melt many times. It couldn't be helped, because Melt had been releasing bloodlust since a while ago, but why on earth was he being cautious about us, who didn't even have weapons? Melt, please control your bloodlust. Why are you getting excited about with children as your opponents? Senia. I'm only making sure they aren't doing unnecessary things. Melt. Whatever it is, please control your bloodlust. We're going to reach Lyfel Sama's bedroom soon, so is this the work of an Imperial Guard, bearing such bloodlust towards his master? Senia. There is no other way then. Melt. By the time Melt reigned in his bloodlust, we arrived in front of a magnificent door. Perhaps, Rhys' older sister, Princess Lyfel, is on the other side of this door. Senia knocked on the door asking a question, and a voice could be heard from the inside. Lyfel Sama, Rhys Sama just got back. She requests for you to meet her friends, will that be alright? Senia. Rhys's friends. She finally invited them. Please come in right away. Lyfel. Please come in, everyone. Senia. When Senia opened the door and invited us to enter, Rhys jumped in first and we followed her. There were numerous books organized in Princess Lyfel's room. I couldn't help seeing at this room as a library. On the bed equipped with canopy in the corner of the room, a woman with straight long red hair grown until her waist raised the upper half of her body and turned her face in our direction. Anne Sama, I'm back. Rhys. Welcome back, Rhys. Even though you went out in a hurry, it was just to invite your friend. Lyfel. The princess called Lyfel was really beautiful. She probably lost a bit of weight because of the illness, but there was no doubt she had an illness just looking at her bright red eyes. Yes, Anne Sama. However, is your physical condition all right? Since I have recovered a bit of my mana, should I treat you with healing magic again? Rhys. Stop being unreasonable. Didn't you collapse earlier? Lyfel. Compared to Anne Sama, this much is nothing. Rhys. But even if I get healed, the pain will come back again. Leaving that aside, will you introduce the children at the back? I must greet the children that you proudly talked about. Lyfel. Proud, what does she mean, Rhys? Emilia? Phew, do you mean that's normal? Anne Sama too, don't say strange things. Rhys. Rhys was flustered, but it looked like she finally returned back to normal. In other words, Princess Lyfel is a reliable companion that Rhys trusts, because she showed the same appearance as when she is with us. Anyhow, let me introduce them. This child is Emilia. She is the first friend that I made in school. Rhys. Nice to meet you, my name is Emilia. I have always been helped by Rhys. Emilia. A polite child, as I've heard earlier. Yes, I can't help saying that she is similar to Senia. Lyfel. Right, Anne Sama. Rhys. How did you get to know Emilia? Because this child has been spoiled by Senia ever since she came here. She is awfully nice to Beastkin. Therefore, when you became friends, I was really pleased that you made a friend similar to Senia. Lyfel. Anne Sama, please stop it. Rhys. She was a princess of an entire country, and yet she was strangely talkative and outspoken. She may be like that only to her sister, but I don't dislike it. Rhys' face reddened and she continued waving at Princess Lyfel. You're cute when you're blushing. Oh yes, although you may already know this, my name is Liefel. By the way, Emilia's silver hair is really beautiful. May I touch it, Liefel? If you are fine with my hair. Emilia. Heim-sama. Even though you are sick, why do you want to touch Beastkin? Melt. Well, I don't mind at all. Since I should paying attention to this, I think that you are losing your hair. I'll check to make, Liefel. Even though Melt brought the meal to the corner of the room, Princess Liefel didn't look at him at all and she touched Emilia's hair. Amazing, it is so silky and I can't really hold it. How did you become so beautiful? Liefel. It is thanks to my master. Sirius-sama. We were given balanced meals above all every day and were taught the method of maintaining a healthy body. So, it's not just the hair, we ourselves are very healthy. Emilia. I see. That is why Reese has become beautiful recently. Will you teach me a lot? Liefel. Princess Liefel's rash actions didn't stop even after Senia called her repeatedly so many times. Reese was amazed by that scene, but since she was not finished with the introductions, she forcibly stopped her. Anne-sama, please stop immediately. Apart from her, this child is Royce. He is Emilia's younger brother. Reese. Nice to meet you. My name is Royce, I am a friend that she treats as an younger brother. Royce. Yeah, you look tougher than what I have heard. If you are treated as Reese's younger brother, I will also treat you as my younger brother. So, you don't have to use honorific with me. Won't you talk like usual? Liefel. Heim-sama. Using honorifics is a commoner's natural obligation. Melt. Melt, if I say it's alright, it is alright. It's fine to be professional with your duty, but predicting your master's subtleties is also part of your duty, you know. Liefel. Understood. Melt. Melt withdrew unwillingly. Being too faithful to your duty is also troublesome, huh? I feel that his compatibility with Liefelheim is bad since a while ago. Too bad I don't sympathize with him at all, even though he didn't show the cold eyes he had for Beastkin to me. Well, Liefel-an, will that be alright, I wonder? I'm Royce, nice to meet you. Royce. You're still stiff but, oh well, it's fine. Nice to meet you, Royce. Since I heard you protected Reese from terrible killers, I think I want to express my gratitude at least once. Liefel. I didn't do it to receive gratitude. After all, even though I did that, I couldn't protect Nei-chan and Reese-an until the end. Royce. However, isn't Reese here because you were there? Don't misunderstand my gratitude, because it's just proper courtesy. Liefel. Is that so? Then, I'll accept it. Royce. What a good child. Liefel. Royce's head was patted gently, Royce scratched his cheeks shyly. That's good, Royce. Being patted by the princess of the country is a rare thing. Well then, this child is. Liefel. Yes, Anne-sama. He is my Shisho, he has taught me various things until now. He is Sirius-san. Reese. Nice to meet you, Liefelheim. Sirius. So, Sirius-san is the one that Reese admired. I heard that you are younger, but may I hear your age? Liefel. She asked for my age while looking at me from head to toe. If I'm not mistaken, I hear that she is 17 years old, but I don't think that relates to her insight. She is to be said a genius, so I'll be in trouble if she looks carefully. I'll be 11 years old this year. Still, is it weird for me to be guiding Reese? Sirius. Well. That is because she became remarkably stronger after she met you. She was amazing from the beginning, but now it's not a joke anymore to say that Reese's healing magic is the best in the country. Besides, I don't think the air around you is like a child's. Right, it's certainly an air like Oto-sama's. Liefel. To grasp my personality after meeting me for the first time, just like the headmaster, she is not an ordinary person after all. As one would expect, she is said to be the candidate for the next queen. A child like me similar to the king? You can't be serious. Serious? Yeah, it's just a matter of a different situation. The most important point is that thanks to you, Rhys became really strong. I am grateful, not as Lyfel, the princess, but as Rhys's sister. Lyfel. I certainly accept that. However, Rhys' growth is a result of her effort. I just helped a little. Besides, that is only natural of me to do. Serious. Are you really 11 years old? I guess I understand Rhys's desire to embrace your big back. Lyfel. And Sama. Rhys. Ah, I'm sorry. Was that a secret? By the way, I was worried about Rhys since she wasn't here by my side after I let her enroll in school. I'm really relieved that you guys became friends in such circumstances. Lyfel. I'm sorry to ask this, but why is Rhys's existence being concealed? Serious. She is the only daughter of the king of this entire country, in short her name is Princess Lyfel. However, even Princess Lyfel herself also recognizes her as a princess. And yet, why are they hiding the fact? It may affect the course of events for the princesses of the country. But since I'm more or less involved into their problems anyways, I think I should try understanding them a bit. Do not get carried away, commoner. I'll cut you down, if you speak any further. Melt. Serious. It's natural for Melt to restraint from the back since this pertains to the secrecy of the royal family. Plus, I can also felt the bloodthirst coming from Senia who stood next to Princess Lyfel. Royce protected my back, Emilia stepped forward while being cautious, and Rhys alone was awkwardly flustered. The feeling like a pin and stick thread continued for a while until Princess Lyfel broke the tension. Senia, Melt. Refrain yourselves. Lyfel. Understood, Senia. But, Melt. These children are the ones that Rhys has put her trust in. Anyhow, I probably need to talk and I think they have the right to know. Lyfel. And Sama, alright. I don't want to keep this secret from my friends anymore. Rhys. Are you sure? Well, the reason we are keeping it a secret is strange, isn't it? So, it's fine to explain if they promise not to tell others. Lyfel. I promise I won't tell others. I just want to know more about Rhys. Serious. Honestly, I don't want any connection with royal family, but it's different when it comes to Rhys's family. After graduation, we want her to follow us, but it will be difficult if the royal family is involved. At least if we are gone, she can live safely and I don't have to think about her training menu. No matter how I look at her, she doesn't have the characteristics of a person that has a relationship with the royal family. Maybe I should teach her a bit of offensive and intimidation magic. The reason Rhys is not officially announced is because she is an illegitimate child, but the main problem is the interference from many parties. When the number of daughters increase, by all means, there will be many people who would want to get into the royal family even by taking this child as a wife. I can send those guys away, but Rhys will be deceived no matter how you look at it. Well, she was a commoner just a few years back, so perhaps it can't be helped for her to be a kind and gentle child. Lyfel. I feel like I understand that. So that she won't be seen as a delicious meal by others, huh? Serious. And Sama, the truth is, Emilia will feel bad if you say it so directly. Rhys. Even though Rhys finally had her sister meet her friends, her spirit was slowly getting shaken. She is being naive as usual, but that is one of her charms. That is why I told Toussaint to conceal the fact. So that she herself can choose what she wants to be when she grows up. As whether she wants to live as the second daughter of the royal family, find a new way to live or to live as commoner, it is all up to her. Lyfel. Aniki. If we can persuade Rhys Ann, won't we be able to travel together? Royce. Maybe. Because she has such a reliable older sister here. Even if we invite her to come together, it can't be decided lightly. There is one more thing, should I inquire about that important matter? Does she have the right to success the throne? Sirius. You're being assertive, Sirius Kun. She does more or less, yes, but at the lowest position since there are our brothers and me. Unless everyone in the royal family dies because the castle got hit by a big magic, it's impossible. Liefel. Liefel-sama, please stop that. It's imprudent to say such thing. Senya. Do you understand, bastard? If Ferris-sama is taken as a wife by force, that person will rise in the royal family. Melt. Melt started to blame while pointing at me. He mentions the downside of the issue, but since nobody knows, it can't be helped no matter how you look on this situation. It seems you have a comment, what is it? Liefel. Setting aside Reese, I am entirely uninterested in the affairs of the royal family. Rather, I was relieved when you said that she is unlikely to succeed the throne. Sirius. Reese got flustered and her face reddened when she heard my answer. Depending on who was listening, it might be interpreted like it's all right to marry Reese. Reese doesn't seem to be interested in the royal family, and I think her natural disposition right now is the best. Fufu, to understand the matters about Reese above all, is there anything else? Liefel. No, nothing in particular. Sirius. Right. Well then, should we talk a little bit more? We want to know what Reese sees in you guys. Liefel. My pleasure, that's what I want to say, but first of all, I would like to be done with Reese's business. Sirius. Business? What kind of business, Reese? Liefel. That's right, Ann-sama. It's about your illness, Reese. She seemed to have forgotten, since she was in agony when her secret was exposed. The sight of Reese being embarrassed is adorable. Her expression was surely funny, but her words were clear and serious. However, I think I should work on getting their trust rather than examining Princess Liefel in hurry, but to think the person herself, who took me here, forgot about the main business. It's all right, Reese. It's true that my body feels sluggish, but as arranged the new medicine will arrive by tomorrow. I'll surely be cured if I take that medicine. Liefel. There is no such guarantee. Didn't you say that my healing magic is almost the best in the country? Why would you say such a thing even though there is no clear indication that you're being cured by my magic? Reese. Maybe the sickness is incompatible with magic power. In addition, it's alright even if you're not worried, you know? That is because I plan to call a doctor from a distance place if the medicine is not working. Liefel. Therefore, why don't we have Sirius-san to examine you? Reese. Sirius-kun? Liefel. Yes. Sirius-san knows the human body very well and my healing magic became good because I was taught by Sirius-san about its structure. That's why I thought of bringing him to figure out the cause of Ann-sama's illness. Reese. So, is he going to touch me? Liefel. That's right. Sirius-san, will you please do it? Reese. Please wait, Sirius. Princess Liefel's expression changed the moment when Reese squeezed out herself in front of me. It's not the gentle face of older sister, but instead right now she is the king's daughter, Liefel Bardfeld, who is looking here with sharp glare. Reese, despite of being my younger sister, don't you understand my standpoint? No matter how hurried you are, I am not going to allow such selfish behavior. Liefel. That is, but I'm worried about Ann-sama. Reese. Yes, I understand you are in pain because your gentleness. But, I'm the princess of the country. This is something that I can't let go no matter if it's request from younger sister. And, Sirius-kun, Liefel. What is it, Sirius? The thing about touching me, are you going to touch me, the princess of the country before her wedding? I wonder if you have such resolution. Liefel. I see no problem, since Royce was patted by Princess Liefel. The problem seems to be touching without permission, but it's irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter. I'm asked by Reese, so I won't help you out only because you're her older sister. Instead, there is a condition for this treatment. Serious. There is condition after I declared that touching is not permitted. So, shall I hear it? Liefeld. I'm going to use special magic that I don't want known by others. I want you to promise not to tell others. Serious. You bastard. You dare to show such attitude towards the princess. Give me a break. Melt. Silence, melt. I'm the one talking with him. And, what would happen if I can't protect the secret? Liefeld. If you cannot follow my condition, I'm going to take Rhys away from Elysian. Serious. Rhys. A perfect elopement with a guy. The siblings will surely come with me, so if my disciples are with me, I have no reason to be bound here. I can take Rhys away freely and escape. Rhys' face paled and that sister of hers was looking here with bloodlust. Do you think I will permit that? I'm going to send pursuers to immediately catch you. Liefeld. If that's the case, should I cross over to the Adload continent? As one would expect, interference will be difficult in another continent even for Elysian. Since we have no difficulties to camp outside, we can build a house deep in mountains in the other continent and wait for things to calm down. Serious. Do you think you can do it? Liefeld. It's doable. Because I have the capability to do it. Serious. I ran from the house where I was born. Furthermore, I can carry them alone in sky like when I went to Lior's house. End of story. I won't be caught by a net at the harbors, since I'm not going to use a ship. I have enough confidence having trained for it. The person herself was troubled and had a red face, but I let it go, since she didn't seem to be looking here. Why do you want to take Rhys along? Liefeld. That is a matter of her being my disciple. I think she will get stronger when she is together with us rather than receiving your protection. Serious. Is that so? You pass. Liefeld. Princess Liefeld reverted to her normal herself and showed a refreshing expression. She was in high spirit while looking at Senia. Did you hear that, Senia? Far from averting his eyes from my gaze, he declared that he will run away with her. Liefeld. Yes, it is. It's like a prince from the tales. Senia. That's great. I might have fallen in love with you if you were a bit older. At least Rhys doesn't mind, right? Liefeld. And Sama, weren't you angry? Rhys, your sister wasn't angry. We were only being tested. Serious. This has become a test from her older sister, since she is giving up her important sister to a man. Nevertheless, I can understand about the headmaster, but is it common sense in this world to test people out by bloodlust? It's like saying, don't even talk about it, if you don't have the courage. She was laughing with Senia, while looking at the flushed Rhys. Then, the satisfied Princess Liefeld extended her hand to me. But, I would drive you out if you really touch me without permission. Well then, should I give you permission to touch me even if though you passed? Is my hand good enough? My chest is absolutely no good even if you are a child. Liefeld. There's no problem even with only your hand. Serious. Well, it's too bad that Princess Liefeld's chest is almost flat. No, let's stop thinking about it. She might figure out what I am thinking, since she has good intuition. It feels good to hold Princess Liefeld's smooth hand, but I can feel her having a high temperature, because of her poor physical condition. I invoked Scan through Princess Liefeld's hand to search for any anomaly. Nothing is happening, so I wonder what on earth you are doing. Liefeld. Sirius Sama is checking for anomalies in your body by using his original magic. Since Royce and I have already received it so many times, it gives off almost no feeling. Emilia. Magic to check for anomalies in someone's body, right? This is certainly can't be told to others. Liefeld. And Sama, why do you say that? I think if possible, this can save lots of people. Rhys. It is certainly can help people, but there will be various people aiming at him in order to analyze this magic. Therefore, I'm going to protect the secret from spreading. Senia, Melt, I forbid you from telling others about how the magic, you just heard about, works. I give this as an absolute order as the princess. Liefel. Understood. Senia. Yes. Melt. Senia lowered her head elegantly, while Melt lowered his head with a sour facial expression. This guy has not separated his hand from his sword, ever since I held Princess Liefel's hand. It seemed he was going to attack at any time soon, but I would have been attacked already if Royce and Senia weren't there. As for Risa's older sister, the result of the thorough scan was confirmed. It's not a problem like an illness. To make it simple, the main cause is physical. I released her hand and then I announced the result with a voice that can be heard by everyone. Liefelheim, there is a foreign substance in your body. Serious.